Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me for this presentation. I was hoping to see you in person and give you an update on what our business is doing in general, but I am going to be able to share with you the things that we've managed to do under these circumstances this morning. So I thought I'd talk to you about sustainable public transport solutions in this new business world. And the first question that people ask me when you're a public transport provider is, well, what are you doing to try and give people confidence to come and travel by public transport? Obviously, government is advising at the moment only to use public transport if your journey is essential. And that's not because it's unsafe, it's really because they're concerned about capacity. But the reality is in Oxford that we're running at about 11% of normal at the moment. So there is plenty of capacity, and people who are using public transport are doing so perfectly safely. So there are no concerns about that. But I thought it would be helpful just to run through quickly what measures we are putting in place to make sure that people can continue to travel using public transport throughout this crisis. So we have put enhanced cleaning regimes in place. So each time our vehicle returns to the depot each evening, it is basically classed as off the road until we can confirm that it's had a deep clean. And similarly, as drivers change shifts throughout the day, they also have alcohol wipes to make sure that they wipe down their cab area so it's clean for them so that they're safe before they start their duty. So over time, the vehicles are continually kept clean throughout the day. Social distancing is obviously a big concern of people. It is very difficult on public transport to practice social distancing, but we are doing so. So what that's meant in practice is that our vehicle capacities have been reduced to between 25 and 40% of normal to allow the 2 metre social distancing on board. The lower end of 25% represents if all passengers that are travelling are single travellers. And the 40% upper number is if more groups can travel together and sit together. So our drivers will be using their discretion on that to make sure that everyone stays safe. All vehicles have been fitted with a screen. Some of our vehicles have security screens anyway, but most don't. But there is now a screen between the driver and the customer to provide that added protection. All seats within 2 metres of the driver are cordoned off. We are encouraging face coverings, but they're not mandatory at the moment. So we're encouraging people to use their common sense. And in the next fortnight or so, we'll be launching a busy bus checker, which will allow customers both to see at the present time when they're going out to get a bus, or looking at a moment in time, perhaps tomorrow or the day after, which buses are typically busy and which ones are not. So people can go out for the right bus to make sure they can get on the bus first time rather than have to wait for the one behind. And here's some of the signage you'll see. So the one on the left is basically on the driver's cab door, which is explained to people what the new bus capacity is. And that's the load that the drivers have been asked to go up to. And here's some of the onboard signage on the right. So it's nothing you probably haven't seen in other places like supermarkets. So, don't travel if you're unwell, get on the bus one at a time, pay by contactless if you can, because the limit's now been increased to £45. 2 metre social distancing, please wear a face covering if you can. If you do need to cough, please do hygienically into your arm rather than not covering your mouth. Make sure that you take things that you touch on the bus with you, like newspapers, and obviously wash your hands as often as you can. All of that you would expect. So what else have we done for driver protection? We have issued them hand sanitizers and refills, and we're just investigating now whether we can put that onto the vehicles as well, because that seems to be what the expectation of customers is going forward to give them confidence to travel again. So we're looking at how we might get hand sanitizer on buses in a safe way. We've issued drivers with vinyl gloves for cash handling, and they still can't touch their face. It's better than using your bare hands. As we say, alcohol wipes to wipe down the cab area, and the contactless limit is £45. And here's what the typical bus might look like at the moment. We have got a line as well for people to stand behind whilst they're waiting to get off, and lots of advice on board. But it's perfectly safe, just like in the supermarket. As long as you sit apart, we're giving advice such as sit by the window, leave the seat in front of you free, and or the row in front of you free, the row behind you free. All the windows should be open, so it's all perfectly safe to continue travelling. And similarly, our workplaces, just to reassure people, we have risk assessed them all. We are COVID-19 secure. We've got the one-way systems in place, just like many of the supermarkets have, and hand sanitizers are at each entry point. So that just gives you a very quick whistle-stop tour of what we're doing to make buses safe during this crisis. But the main thing I wanted to talk to you about this morning was the range of services that we can offer to businesses, because people often see the local buses and they see the coaches, but they don't often appreciate some of the services that we can offer to business. And actually, when we had our stall at Business in Oxford 2019 last year, most inquiries we got were for private hire, because I think people assume, because we are the premier bus operator in Oxford, that we will also do private hire. So we haven't done much of that to date, to be honest, but through this crisis we have reflected on that, and we do now actually have some spare buses, so therefore we might be able to do that now. So I just wanted to run through the services that we can offer, because we can offer end-to-end transport solutions, and here's just some of the ideas which I'll expand on. So discounted bus tickets for employees. I mean, that can be done in several ways. They can be bought in bulk, or we can offer an email service whereby if you have in your email address either one business or businesses to which you wish to apply a discount, we can allow people to log on and self-help themselves and get the discount applied automatically. So we certainly use that down at Harwell campus, and that's worked successfully for many years, and that has encouraged more people to travel by bus down there as well as saving Harwell car parking spaces, because obviously in this world where land is in short supply and development is top of the list, being able to free up car parking spaces by moving people onto public transport has helped with that aim. We can also develop bespoke shuttle services. That's high quality minibuses, luxury coaches and double-decker buses, and I'll cover some examples of that shortly. We obviously run our airline services to Heathrow and Gatwick airports. I mean, the Gatwick service is currently suspended, but we are still running 8 return trips a day to Heathrow. And one of the services that we now offer is to be able to basically, if you've got a group coming to your business, we can arrange for a coach to go down and pick you up. If they want to just go back on their own accord, they can go back up the service bus, or the other way around. If people are arriving in dribs and drabs, they can come up on our scheduled airline service, and you might want to organise a specific coach to take them back to Heathrow or Gatwick afterwards. So we can offer those services on airport transfers on our luxury coaches, and I'll show you a picture of one of those shortly as well. And really, we can tailor bus services for large employers and business parks, and we'll come on to how we've done that across Oxfordshire as well. So here's an example of one of our airline coaches. So again, I stress, if you're organising an event in Oxford that's requiring people to come in via Heathrow or Gatwick Airport, we can free up one of these lovely vehicles. You can see on the right there the inside. So they are luxurious, and they are high-end quality coaches. They've got free Wi-Fi on them. They've got the ability to pull these seats out to give you more room. So if you have people that might be slightly larger than average, should we say, you can actually pull the seats out to make more space for yourself. We can put on the onboard screens how long it's going to take you to get to and from the airport if people are a bit nervous about making their flight in time, etc. So we really can provide a luxury experience, and it's not just for the, as I say, for bespoke groups that you may wish to bring to and from the airport. We actually run these coaches on our normal airport services as well. We also have double-decker buses with tables and settees on. So this is an example of one of our park and ride buses, and they are available as well with high back seating, wooden floors, to say a settee. They also have free Wi-Fi, and they seat up to 65 people. So we can offer those for private hire as well, locally within Oxford or around Oxfordshire. And also we have high quality minibuses. So you may be aware, because I've spoken at previous business in Oxford about our Pick Me Up service. Unfortunately, that service is going to be finishing on the 20th of June because we haven't managed to get the commercial case to stack up for it. And unfortunately, COVID has really been the final straw for it. It can't really survive that because it was struggling to get to commerciality anyway because of the low traffic speeds. So regretfully, that service is going to be on the 20th of June, but we have put some bids into the Department for Transport to try and reinvigorate the service at a later date. But that does mean we've got the vehicles that we previously used on Pick Me Up service that would now be available for bespoke shuttle services as well. And we've been doing some of that work with the NHS during the COVID crisis as well. And as you can see, they're 16-seaters, luxurious. Again, they've got Wi-Fi, comfortable seating, and they really are, very useful for those high-quality small jobs that you might want to impress a client with. And of course, we've got our open top fleet. So it's a very unique and fun way to entertain and transport guests. All the sentiment analysis at the moment is suggesting that people are going to prefer things in the outdoors. I'm not saying the weather is always very kind to us, but people are looking for activities that are outdoors. So whilst you could go to a rural setting to do things, what we can offer is open top tour buses for bespoke conferences or private hires or whatever you want to do, and we can operate them in all weathers. And yes, we've got the lower deck, but it's more fun to go on the upper deck. And you'll see from this vehicle on the left that round about a third of the upper deck is covered, so people can still go upstairs in poor weather. And the brave souls towards the back can go out into the open air. And again, you can have those for as little as long as you want. We can operate them in all weather. They're available all year round. It's become quite fun in some coastal settings to actually go around on the bus with umbrellas up in wet weather. People seem to love seeing the sights and keeping dry, and it's all part of the fun, really. And we also have live guides available who can add that commentary and bespoke the tour for your own purposes. So if you want specific things covering or mentioning, or you want to provide some sort of script that needs to be covered by the guide, then we can accommodate that as well. So it really is a unique and fun way to try and incorporate into any conferences or team building or activities that you might be planning. So in terms of some examples of partnerships that we've developed over many years in Oxford, the partnership we have with Brookes University is quite a key one. We've worked with them since 2009 to develop a network of bespoke services for them. And in 10 years, it's really doubled as the ambitions of the university have grown and how the need to transport people between their 3 campus locations at Harcourt Hill, at Wheatley and in Headington. We worked with Brookes to develop the network to be fit for purpose, and at its peak it was running 20 dedicated double-deckers. We also run any ad hoc extra services that the university wants, such as open days that they're running for new students coming to look, exam days, exam buses rather, when there's exams taking place in other locations such as the King's Centre on Oseley Mead. We did bespoke services from there to where the halls of residence were, and really any special events that Brookes does, we're now their preferred partner to run, because their buses are obviously branded in their colours, and it's a brilliant advert for them too, as those buses travel around the city and beyond. We actually do loan those buses out to other places in the country as well from time to time to do private hires, and it's a really good advert for Brookes. So if you had your bus branded in your livery and colours, as we sent that bus round the county and around the country, actually, you would get really good advertising as well as part of the deal. And we can also provide bespoke ticketing solutions. So for Brooks, all their students, when they arrive each September, they all get issued with a smart card. Some of those are to travel free on the network, others are charged for, and we can really bespoke the ticketing solution depending on what the client wants, and we can come up with hybrid solutions of, as I say, of something, part paid for, part free travel, and we've done that for many years with Brooks, and that partnership's gone from strength to strength. Blenheim Palace is another important one. So Blenheim has tried to hold more major events as time's gone on. So there's been summer concerts, the Christmas Light Trail, and we have partnered with them to provide the park and ride for those busy days where the on-site parking is not sufficient, or we need to discourage it because it creates local problems around the Woodstock area. So we've transported thousands of visitors into Blenheim Palace for these events, and obviously we have reduced congestion and private car use, which is what we all want to do for the environment. And again, we've worked with Blenheim to develop bespoke revenue models. So quite often the services for Blenheim don't charge any fares to customers travelling on the bus, but Blenheim do charge for it in advance. So again, we've worked with Blenheim to develop full end-to-end solutions. We've developed solutions where we've both taken an element of risk sharing as well, and as I say, people can pre-purchase tickets on the web, and then we've come up with solutions that can be used on the bus. So really, if you have a need to transport people to your place, if you're holding an event, or even if you are wanting to improve the number of people that travel to your place of work by public transport, we can work with you to come up with the most bespoke solution that's appropriate for your workplace. The next one, which is more recent, is this one only started back in July last year, so around about 12 months old, is that we used to the University of Oxford has a requirement to basically transport people from Oxford down to Harwell campus, as that's expanded and there's more facilities, such as the Science and Technology Facility Council, but others have located at Harwell, as well as the new locations in Headington, such as the Big Data Institute. The University of Oxford had a requirement to transport people from the university science area to both of those, and originally partnered with a different operator, but that service could only operate on what we call a closed door basis, which is it was only available to university staff and students. It wasn't available to the general public. There were also some matters of it not being accessible for people in wheelchairs, etc. So we started having conversations with University of Oxford about there might be an alternative, better solution, where if we can turn that sort of service into one that was available for the general public, but still very much met the university's aspirations for a fast, professional, speedy service. There might be a better way to reduce costs to the university, and to improve the range of services that we offer to people in South Oxfordshire. So that's how the Science Transit Shuttle came about in the summer of last year, and the end result was that we saved almost 50% of its 7-figure annual operating cost. So it was a win-win. And now people can travel on that service. Anyone can. It runs every 30 minutes between the centre of Oxford and the Harwell campus on Mondays to Fridays. Anyone can use it. There are all sorts of different ranges of passes, because again, the university wished to provide a whole range of solutions to different people who've been able to accommodate that. And because we have the back office that supports that, then we have been able to, as I say, create a win-win situation. So again, that's just another example of what we've managed to achieve.
Oh, hi, it's Richard. I just wanted. Oh, brilliant! You're on the last slide.
That's it.
Excellent.
That's the last slide. Well anticipated. So yes, all I would say to you, just to finish in my last 40 seconds, is if you want to get in touch, then please contact us on this telephone number, 01865 785 400, or at that email address there, coachhire@oxfordbus.co.uk, or if you even want a conversation with me to just have a chat about things and just try and help you frame in your own mind what solutions might be suitable for you, then you're welcome to contact me as well, which is phil.southall@oxfordbus.co.uk as well. And that therefore completes my presentation. Thank you very much, host.